Today, we are going to do an activity test for the presence of starch in a food. In this activity, we need a test tube stand, test tube, iodine solution which is already there in your kit, starch powder, one dropper and a cup of water. So all this material we require in this activity. Whenever we are talking about starch, starch can be defined as the most important complex carbohydrate compound. This is also called the iodine test. The iodine test for the starch is mainly performed to test the presence of a carbohydrate. So let's start this activity. So in this activity, we need one test tube. We need a small amount of starch powder. So you can take the starch powder in a test tube. So we need a small amount of starch powder in a test tube. And both this iodine and starch powder are not dangerous, but you never taste any chemical. So you have to use all the chemicals very carefully. So the next step is that as the starch is in the powder form, as you can see, and we have to make it the aqueous solution. So for that we need a water. So you can take around 3 ml of water with the help of a dropper, and you can put in a test tube like this. So in this way we are making the aqueous solution of a starch powder. And the next step is that we have to use the iodine. So we already have iodine in our kit. So this is the iodine solution. So we have to take 1 or 2 drops of iodine solution with the help of a dropper, and once we'll put 2 or 3 drops of iodine solution inside this starch powder, immediately this white color, so here you can see the white color, will be converted into or changed into the deep blue or a black color. If the color changes to deep blue or the black color, it shows the presence of a starch in a food. Yes, if the color changes to deep blue or black, it shows the presence of a starch in the food. So I have to shake it and mix it well. And now the next step is that let me take a few drops of iodine. So you have to open it very carefully and take 1 or 2 drop of iodine in this dropper. Now the next step is that you have to put these 2 drops of iodine in the test tube. And here you can see if the color changes to deep blue or black, it shows the presence of iodine inside this, it shows the presence of a starch inside this test tube. So let me put 2 drops, and here you can see the color changes to black, and yes, it shows the presence of a starch inside this test tube. So in this way we have done the test for the presence of starch in a food. Moreover, the food product which we eat include different type of carbohydrates, among which starch and sugar are the main carbohydrate found in our food products. And in addition to that, whenever we are talking about the starch or the carbohydrate, the maximum amount of a starch is present in potatoes, wheat, maize, rice or boiled rice. So all these food contain the maximum amount of a starch. In addition to that, you can also check the presence of starch in a lot of food present at your home. For example, if you want to check the presence of starch in potato, then you can take a potato from your kitchen and then you have to half cut it, and you can put 2 or 3 drops of iodine. This is the iodine. You have to put only 2 or 3 drops of iodine on the white portion of the potato. If the potato color changes to deep blue or black, it shows the presence of starch in the potato. In the same way, you can check the presence of starch in wheat. You have easily available in your home. You can check the starch on apple, banana, boiled rice. So in this way, you can check the presence of starch on a different food present in your home. So this is all about the test for the presence of starch in the food, or you can also call it a iodine test. Let me repeat it once again, all the steps. So firstly, we have to take the starch powder in a test tube, and after that we have to mix the water so that we can make the aqueous solution of the starch powder. And after that, we have taken the 2 or 3 drops of iodine and we have put it 2 or 3 drops of iodine inside the test tube, and if the color changes to deep blue or black, it shows the presence of a starch in that particular food product. Now your homework is that you have to check the presence of starch in at least 3 food available at your home. Thank you.